And we talk about the definition of social enterprise, and we borrow some ideas from the UK and from US. In US, they call social enterprise as for benefit corporation. So they have a registration called B Corp in US. And in UK, they are using the idea of community business, community interest company. They call it as a CIC. As a definition of social enterprises in United Kingdom. And in Hong Kong, we don't have the exact word for social enterprise, but we actually Home Affairs Bureau and the Hong Kong Council of Social Service are responsible for the selecting and keeping the social enterprise directory as the gatekeeper of measuring how many social enterprises are registered in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong Council of Social Service in line with Home Affairs Bureau, are responsible for the social enterprise directory, which allows any social enterprises to apply with an application. It's more like a self-declaration form. They have to tell us their M&A, their social objectives, their business objectives, who are the shareholders, dividend formula, and so on and so forth. And once they are qualified for those criteria, they will be enlisted in the social enterprises. 15 years ago, as I said, there are only 50 social enterprises. Up to today, we have around 600 social enterprises. Supposedly, we have more, but because of the COVID situation, at least 30 to 40 social enterprises actually are out of business. And of course, we expect some more coming up. There's always come and go with the old business and the new business. So that social enterprise directory helps us to define whether they are social enterprise or not. So as you can see, they are somewhere in between the business and the charity. If you look at normal enterprise, people just focus on the left-hand corner, which is the blue area of talking about financial, cash flow, sustainability, revenue growth in terms of the incomes and the efficiency. EBITDA margin means income and expenses. How much margin do you make? So these three dots are purely commercial, purely rational. But when you look at beneficiary, which is the yellow corner, this is something related to social enterprise. We are talking about employment, equal opportunity employment, and whether that will benefit any beneficiaries during the operations of the business or the social business. And last but not least, outplacement is a very interesting idea. If you have a business, especially like any small and medium business or even a multinational business that you work for, will you expect your colleagues that perform so well that one day will leave you? You won't, because you will say that, he or she is so good, so he or she should be promoted and then stay in the company for 20 or 30 years until she or he retire, right? But in the space of social enterprise, we think differently. We will find he or she coming from the underprivileged background or disability background, that he or she is trained so well that one day we will be happy and proud of him or her that he or she will find a job in a normal commercial market. We call that as an outplacement. So that the social enterprise job is done, we provide a platform, basically a space and environment for him or her to learn and to discover his or her strengths. And finally, the traditional marketplace for employment can take him or her out according to what he or she is good at. Maybe he or she comes with what we call it as the weaknesses, maybe what they are weak at or what they are not good at. But throughout the training, along this journey, he or she will be well qualified for the job outside. So we call that outplacement as one of the indicators that we will measure as a success. And last but not least, we have the pink corner, which is we call it as a social awareness. So social awareness is hard to measure, but we got to mention this because this is part of the social impact that a social enterprise can make, such as fair trade. Fair trade is intangible, it's a concept. But if that social enterprise promotes fair trade, and more consumer understand the ideas behind whether this is a fair trade coffee or fair trade chocolate, then they will understand what happens to those farmers and create that social awareness through the promotion of this business. Then he or she is doing a good job. This social enterprise is doing a good job, such as AIDS awareness. These are some of the awareness issues that comes along with the social enterprise, not just the employment itself. So these are some of the KPI or balance scorecard of those measurements.